validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt up on the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher constantly, making my own climb. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. Whoa. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we're talking about this, that, and everything in between. It's an interesting Tuesday. I'm trying to catch up on all the breaking news that we got going on. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. It's going to be a very interesting show today. We're going to be talking about some other sides of what's been going on in today's economy, because currency is being affected right now. So we want to talk about that as well. While you guys are hitting that like and subscribe button, make sure that you guys decide that if you want to join on to the show in real time, you can always approve the mic and approve the camera after you click that link in the comment section, and then it'll bring you into the green room where we'll be able to see you in real time. And then after that, we will be able to, if you're over the age of 18, put you up onto the show. You can always turn your mic off if you decide, whatever the case may be. Keep your comments appropriate in the comment section and on the live stream. Even if we disagree with one another, we can appropriately talk about how we don't agree with one another. Because we don't have to agree. As I've shown you guys all this past week, we have had a couple people that dove in and they had their personal 2 cents to express to us about the information that we provided to them. And we love those individuals that like to critique the source. So remember, we're live 7 nights a week. We started around 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, and 7 o'clock California time as California continues to burn to the ground. So today we are going to be talking about Elon Musk killing the U.S. penny. So, special shout out to Red Void from Twitch. I always see him in here. He's one of the first ones to pop in, so I always want to show him some love. And then Cody's going to be here a little bit later. Not Red Void, Omni 81 and Max Poser. They should be diving in pretty soon as well. So special shout out to those guys as we get things underway. Let's see. I want to make sure that you guys are able to join me as I dive into tonight's show. Is going to be a little bit shorter than yesterday's show, because yesterday we went over about 27 or 28 different executive orders. Today, we're just talking about what Elon Musk has done as an unofficial member of the U.S. government. So we're going to be talking about the wild world of Elon Musk, and we're going to see about figuring out how we are going to get by Elon Musk killing the U.S. penny. So he just assassinated that son from like across the room. Now, you might have heard rumors and you might have seen the headlines, but it is really true. So did you guys know that Elon Musk signaled the end of the U.S. penny? So today, we're going to be going into and exploring recent developments that have led to many believing that the penny's days have been far since numbered and the U.S. penny is existing on borrowed time. Elon Musk is a co-leader of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, which is almost the acronym of the Dodge company in NASDAQ. But I love the way they threw that in there. These guys are in the Trump administration. However, it's important to note that this is not an official government position. Dodge is set up to provide advice and guidance from outside of the government, indicating that Musk does not hold an official governmental role. Musk's Dodge, Elon's Dodge company, created under President Trump's administration, is an advisory group aimed at identifying government spending inefficiencies. Remember, Trump said that he was going to keep Elon Musk on his cabinet so that Elon could assess the U.S. budget. Well, he's been doing so. Dodge has been officially created through an executive order signed by President Trump on January 20th, 2025. This is one of the orders we were talking about yesterday. The U.S. Digital Service is an existing office in the White House, has been renamed the U.S. Dodge Service and incorporated the Dodge's structure, where Elon Musk has shifted Dodge's initial focus towards upgrading federal IT systems and improving government technologies. So everybody's going to go from having a PC to having a MacBook in the White House. Now, the executive order states that Dodge's purpose is to implement the president's Dodge agenda by modernizing federal technology and software to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity. That's going to be where they're going to be streamlining those HB1 applications through AI software and streamlining those EBW applications through AI software. And this will initially, based on Musk's suggestion, cut $2 trillion from the federal budget. But this target has been reduced to about $500 billion. So, which is 1/4 of, nope, that's 1/8 of what they were talking about doing before. No, that was right before. It's 1/4. Because $500 billion is half of $500 billion is $500 billion, and instead of $2 trillion, they're doing $500 billion. So it's 25% of what they're originally projecting. However, Musk is encountering difficulties in navigating the complexities of the government's operations and congressional dynamics. So some lawmakers, like Senate Budget Chair Lindsey Graham, have noted that Elon is still learning about political realities of government budget cuts. So despite challenges, Elon remains committed to reducing government bureaucracies in improving the efficiency of the existing ones. So Elon Musk is leading the newly created Dodge Government Efficiency Office, which aims to reduce federal spending and streamline government operations. And the Dodge office has been set up within what was formerly used as the Digital Service Office. So it's already running for the past 8 days. Musk shares the leadership of Dodge with Vivek Ramsway. The department is designed to offer external advice on the reduced wasteful spending and improving government efficiency of the United States government. So we're going to look at the fact that while Musk just killed the penny, Musk still does not have an official governmental title or role within the federal bureaucracy. So Elon and his team will work from Eisenhower Executive Office Building, not from within the White House itself. And Dodge's goal is to identify areas for cost cutting, streamline government operations, and reducing that federal spending. So this arrangement allows Musk to influence government efficiency efforts without holding a formal government position, which is a nice way of saying that we have a billionaire influencing the US government without having to lobby money for effective change. This helps avoid potential conflicts of interest with Elon Musk's business ventures, even if the avenues that Elon is going down with the US government are similar to the avenues that Elon Musk is going down with his own personal companies. We're going to get into that in a second. Initially, Elon suggested the Dodge could cut that $2 trillion from the federal budget, like I explained earlier. And they did scale it back. And since they scaled it back, trying to reach 500 billion in reductions, at least in the first year, Dodge will be focusing on potential mass head cuts. And that's going to lead to reductions across the federal bureaucracy, where Elon has advocated for shifting government employees to the private sector to increase productivity. Needless to say, that's going to have a heavy impact, because they're going to be outsourcing what used to be just federal agents to third-party non-federal agents that would have to gain limited security clearance to perform the federal contracts that they will be assigned to. But it will be a budget war where the US government would be able to get the lowest bidder for the workload, and that would allow for an increased level of productivity, because if in the event the person that's working for you isn't effective enough, you can always just hire somebody else or terminate your contract and set up a contract with somebody else who will get more work done for the same amount of money, or get the same amount of work done for less money, as opposed to those bureaucrats that can ride the wave because their jobs never get replaced. Once you make it in the office, you're a senator forever. You stay in a political position forever. Like, these are 2-year seats, and these people are riding the same seat for 30 years because out of 355 million Americans, only 500 or so people decide that they want to be in the federal position, and nobody challenges them. Half of us don't even know that we're supposed to be voting every year, if not every 2 years, for our federal politics, because we do our president every year, and we do the Senate and the House every other year, and we do our law officials, like our Supreme Court judges, offset every other year. So technically, every year we're supposed to be voting for something, but most people only vote once every 4 years. It's wild. So the other 3 years, whatever the US government wants to do, they can do, because they technically don't have a large quantity of people influencing decision making, and it is not publicly campaigned the way the presidency is campaigned. So think about that. Now, Elon is exploring the use of blockchain technology in government operations, which is bringing Bitcoin to the White House. And this is going to be including tracking federal spending, securing data, and making payments, as well as managing buildings. Dodge is replacing the representatives within various federal agencies to identify areas of cost cutting. A sweeping White House order to freeze the federal grants and allocating and the allocations of these grants have been implemented, and this is going to be reflecting Trump's theory of presidential powers over spending. So Elon is not officially discontinuing U.S. currency entirely. Instead, the Department of Government Efficiency, Dodge, is specifically targeting the penny as a potential cost-cutting measure. So the penny has been facing some serious challenges in recent years. And for one, it's cost more to produce a penny than it's actually worth. Even though those pennies add up, so does the cost of making them. According to the U.S. Mint in 2020 annual report, it costs around 1.5 cents to produce just one penny. That's around a whopping 50% loss right off the bat. And it's not like the penny is a rare or sought after coin either. In fact, many people consider it to be more of a nuisance than anything else. The fact that it costs almost 3 cents to build a penny, and people are throwing it on the ground because they don't like having change in their pockets, that you can't use a penny for anything other than covering the difference over a nickel, whether you're paying for something or getting change back for something. People throw their change on the ground, and it's just lost after that, which is wasteful. A billionaire would not allow one penny to disappear out of a transaction just because they didn't need the penny in their back pocket. Probably more to the magnitude, have somebody in their cabinet carrying $1 worth of pennies in their pockets so that they could offset the pennies that they're being handed and turn that penny into a nickel, or offset that with some of the pennies that they have in their pocket and turn that into a quarter, so that that quarter could be used in a vending machine or the meter, as opposed to just throwing the penny away. Most of us don't walk around with 49 cents and pennies in our pocket. We just hand out whole dollars, and then they'll hand us back coins. And we just take the coins and shove them in our pockets, or throw the coins in the trash, or lose the coins in the washer and dryer. But we don't actually think to ourselves, they're going to hand me back less than 5 cents. I need to give them 1 to 5 pennies to turn that into a dime, instead of taking those 4 pennies and throwing them on the ground. Because if you think about each time you disposed of 4 cents, you technically threw away 12, since it cost them almost 3 times more to make it, just going into that scenario. So who hasn't had to deal with the hefty jar of pennies collecting dust on their dresser, since nobody takes the time to take change with them to cover the cost of differences? And you can't really, outside of those tolls where you can pay with change, outside of those tolls, there's not very many other places where you can utilize pennies. And it costs money because you got to buy penny rolls. So it costs money to roll the money, because while it is U.S. tender, people refuse to accept unrolled currency, which is technically a violation of law. But if you have 500 pennies, they're not going to really want to accept that you have to go to the magnitude of counting it out for them so that they can accept the fact that you have 500 pennies, but they're not going to be okay with accepting 500 pennies. Try going to a gas station and buying $80 worth of gas and paying with just pennies. Like it just doesn't work out that way. So pennies are a problem because businesses don't even want them. And this is going to cause more of a concern, where individuals are going to be discouraged with accessing pennies. Now, the decline of cash transactions has also contributed to the penny's decline in value, as well as more and more people turn to digital payment. We have a lot more of us that are buying things online because of e-commerce, using our debit and credit cards. We have digital wallets, digital banking. We don't, with our fast-paced lives, spend much time actually going to the bank. So those people who get caught up in a bank robbery are heavily unlucky, because what are the odds that you actually have to go to the bank? because you can go so far as getting a bank loan from an online application. So what are the odds of you needing to go to a bank to get caught up in a bank robbery? However, since the physical need for coins like pennies is continuing to decrease, we need to understand who actually is using cash anymore besides strippers and waitresses. Let's be honest, because even owners of laundromats have just quarters. You put dollars into the machine, they have giant wads of dollars, or if they're refilling the coin machine, they have giant bags of coins, of quarters. The individuals that are doing the do-it-yourself car wash, they either have dollars or quarters. The individuals that are doing vending machines, I told you guys about vending machines, is a good business to start up because you can set vending machines all over your area and make money off of that, and that will give you bags of quarters. But outside of that, who's really using pennies anymore? So it's all about the countless transactions these days. So it's no wonder that the penny has become somewhat of a relic of the past, and public sentiment isn't exactly on the penny side either. So many people see it as a waste of resources and a useless piece of metal that's more trouble than it's worth. But despite all the challenges, the penny has somehow managed to stick around because everything is priced at something's 0.99 of a dollar. So you end up at some point having to break a nickel, break a dollar, or break a dime in ways that requires the penny to do cash transactions when cash transactions occur. But that was a situation until Elon Musk came along. So Elon influences the financial landscape, and that cannot be an overstated scenario. He's a visionary and a disruptor and a master of innovation. So when he speaks, people are going to listen, especially since he has an entire social media platform that doesn't necessarily have more views than TikTok, but it definitely has enough views where individuals can get on Elon Musk's social media platform to listen to what he has to say. And everyone that is on Twitter or X is typically people that are fans of Elon Musk, because not too many people dislike Elon Musk and choose to use Elon Musk software to communicate in social media. So when Musk started talking about the future of currency, people take notice. And what he's been saying lately has many convinced that the penny's days are definitely numbered. The penny is on life support, to say the least. So Elon Musk has been a vocal proponent of a cashless society for some time now. He believes that digital currencies are the way of the future and that physical coins like the penny will soon be obsolete until you start dealing with power outages. And with his vast resources and influences, he's in a unique position to actually make that vision a reality. So through his companies like Star City, that's now known as Tesla Energy, Tesla, and SpaceX, Musk has the power to shape the financial landscape and bring about real change. And if he decides that the penny is no longer needed, then it's likely that the penny will indeed meet its demise. Because when Dodge highlighted that producing a penny cost taxpayers over $179 million in the fiscal year of 2023, where in 2023, each penny costs approximately $3.69 to produce one penny, which is more than its face value. Or no, they're saying 3.69 cents. 3.69 cents. Still 3 times, almost 4 times more than what it's worth. The initiative is part of the broader effort to reduce federal spending. So Musk is still sticking to his expectation of the reduction of the budget as close to $2 trillion as possible. So this is not a complete elimination of currency, but focused on critiquing the penny's production. So Congress would need to pass a law actually stopping penny distribution. And some economists argue that eliminating the penny might not significantly save money. Well, a few pennies here and there, if you saved $170 trillion, uh, or if you saved $170 million, yeah, it could go towards another governmental resource like funding food assistance or something like that. So it could also go towards not taxing the US people a lot more. But we're looking at a study from 2023 that suggests that rounding prices to the nearest nickel would not have a major inflationary consequence. But what exactly has Elon Musk done to signal the end of the penny? Well, outside of rounding to the nearest nickel. So if you're rounding to the nearest nickel, everything is going to be something, 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 and 95 cents or 55 cents or 15 cents. And the payment arrangement of situations is going to be taxed in a way where the total cost of the item is going to be rounded to the nearest nickel. So even like in the gas station, when it's 9/10 of an item, is going to be rounded up to the nearest nickel, which means that some sales industries are going to be trying to charge more than the nickel so that it can be rounded up to the next nickel or rounded down to the next nickel, to the former nickel. But either way it goes, it's not going to be that much of a financial loss. So since just recently, Elon made a bombshell announcement that sent shockwaves through the financial community, where he announced that Tesla would be accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. Well, if you've got a few $100,000 in Bitcoin, since you put your money into Bitcoin back in November, and Bitcoin is kind of leveling off right now in Q1, people are going to start utilizing Bitcoin for what it was originally created for, which was microtransactions. Then you can put your money into the value of Bitcoin and then use the Coinbase wallet, credit card or debit card to do transactions, which allows you to utilize Bitcoin as currency. That's what Bitcoin was created for. Which means that until you need to buy something, you could just continue to sit on your Bitcoin and allow your Bitcoin to marginally increase itself in value, especially if you're using trade bots. Now, this is going to be marking a major milestone in the adoption of digital currency. And while this might not seem directly related to the penny, it is a clear indicator that Musk is serious about a cashless future. And if the penny is no longer needed in that future, then it's likely that it will be phased out altogether. Now, Elon's Dodge team is considering using the blockchain technology for various governmental functions, including the tracking of federal spending and securing data and managing payments. So while not specifically pushing Bitcoin, Musk's X, formerly known as Twitter, is rumoring to develop X money, which may support cryptocurrency as well. So diverse crypto interests are going to have Elon Musk showing more interest in multiple cryptocurrencies, where Tesla holds Bitcoin and Musk personally owns Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. The Dodge initiative aims to leverage blockchain for enhancing transparency and reducing costs in government operations, which is going to have the U.S. government utilizing Bitcoin rather than promoting a specific cryptocurrency. So Elon's actions and statements continue to have significant impacts on cryptocurrency markets, particularly for the Dogecoin. So while Musk is not implicating pushing Bitcoin as a currency, his exploration of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency is in the government and business context, which continues to influence crypto in this landscape. Elon Musk's Department of Governmental Efficiencies is exploring the use of blockchain technology for various federal operations, and they're going to be including that software to aid in securing and tracking and spending data. So this could potentially increase the transparency of the government's financial transactions globally. Now, the thing is, President Trump's executive order has established a working group of purpose for the federal regulations and framework of digital assets, and this is including stable coins. So this framework aims to provide clarity on the issuance and operation of digital assets in the US. So the executive order specifically mentions promoting the development and growth of lawful and legitimate dollar-backed stable coins worldwide. So while the US dollar is no longer backed by gold, Bitcoin will be backed by the US dollar, and other such cryptocurrencies is going to be the same way. So this could lead to the creation of digital representation of the US dollar, because they do have a US cryptocurrency. The US dollar cryptocurrency is called the USD coin. You guys can go look that up. And that's going to be crossbred with other cryptocurrencies. So this is going to potentially complement traditional currencies. And the executive order explicitly prohibits agencies from establishing, issuing, or promoting CBDCs within the US or abroad. And this suggests that the US government is not planning to replace traditional currency with a blockchain-based digital dollar in the near future. While not directly replacing traditional currency, blockchain technology could be used to enhance the security and efficiency of currency management systems, potentially reducing fraud and counterfeiting. So Elon's been putting in a lot of effort these last few days, and Elon's been doing a good job of putting up a good front for us to recognize that, holy crap, not only are we going to be doing away with the penny, we're primarily going to be leaning towards a complete blockchain scenario, where most of us are going to be accessing and utilizing either cryptocurrencies or cashless spending options. So we're going to be using our wallets from our cell phones. We're going to be using a bunch of digital wallets and not actually carrying cash with us outside of world travel. So what does all this mean? Is this really the end of the penny as we know it? I think that the penny is not the first thing. It's not the last thing to go, but it's definitely going to be the first thing as we move forward. And will it certainly look like we're going to be not having any cash coming soon? Not in the immediate future, but definitely over the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to be looking at discussions of less and less cash required transactions, because you also have to remember almost 50% of merchants around the world have switched over to cashless already. So all we need is another 30% or 40% of merchants to switch to cashless transactions, and you're not even going to have a reason to have a dollar, because the only places you're using US currency is in the United States. You're doing coin conversions, and Bitcoin does not have to do currency exchange, because the value of Bitcoin is the value of Bitcoin around the world, which actually brings balance to transactions. So if it's worth 5 Bitcoin in one country and 200 Bitcoin in another country, if you go to the country where it's only worth 5 Bitcoin, that's it. Now, I use it as an example, but it's not going to be 5 Bitcoin. It's going to be like 0.000005 Bitcoin, because one Bitcoin is like close to 100 grand right now. So it's not going to be worth 5 Bitcoin, but just using that as an example. So with the challenges that is facing the penny, combined with Elon Musk's influence and the vision for cashless society, it's hard to see a future where the penny remains relevant. And it's already a relic of the past, a reminder of a bygone era, and it's likely that it soon will be nothing more than a collector's item like the typewriter or the Walkman or a VCR. And for those of you who are too young to remember what that is, that's exactly how we're going to feel about the penny. So these changes are part of a broad effort to reduce that government spending and increase efficiency. However, the initiative faces challenges, including potential conflicts of interest and questions about its legal and practical feasibilities. X has announced a partnership with Visa to launch a financial service, and the new financial service feature is called X Money Account, which is another way that Elon Musk is going to be pushing our ability to have cashless transactions, but they're going to be doing that through the X platform. And he will allow peer-to-peer transactions and bank transfers. This move will align with Musk's vision of transforming X into an anything and everything app. So instead of it just being a social media platform that transfers information from one place to another, it is actually going to be a e-commerce situation where you're going to be able to buy and sell and bank through this app. And that's going to be everything, including payments. However, the X company in and of itself is facing financial challenges, where Elon Musk recently told staff that X is barely breaking even. He cited stagnant user growth and underwhelming revenue as issues. Well, you're not going to have a lot of users utilizing your platform when you're charging them almost $20 a person to go live. I can understand if you're going to put them in a partnership program and they're going to get monetized, and you might want to get a cut of their monetization. But let's be real. If they've got to pay you $20 a person to go live, and after they finish paying you that $20 a person to go live, they're not even turning a profit off of going live. At first, they have to still reach a certain matrix in order to qualify for monetization. At least with YouTube and TikTok, you don't necessarily have to invest money into the platform. You just have to bide your time to qualify for monetization. And then if you wait, then you can take the profits off of your platform and put it into advertisement to increase the success of your platform, where you could use the profits to expand your domain. With Twitter, you have to invest directly into your success and then hope that you break even eventually. It's not encouraging, So he's going to have to change the way he allows his platform to be utilized by users in order for him to expand on his growth. And then also, the majority of people that are going to be using his platform, even on a free scale, are going to be supporters of news, because that's primarily what's up there, and supporters of Elon Musk. Individuals that are interested in non-news, individuals that could care less about Elon Musk, they don't have to dislike him, they could just not care enough about him to follow his platform. And individuals that don't want to pay for content creation to be broadcasted live on his platform are going to go somewhere else. So he's going to have a harder time building up his usership, because who's going to start up an e-commerce store where they got to pay $20 a month to be seen before they make a sale? That's going to be pretty hard to look at. And then they're still going to get marginalized profits. It's going to be just like YouTube, where the platform's going to take almost half of your profits and then give you the rest. And then you still got to pay the platform an extra $20 on top of that to continue using the platform. So they're not going to take the $20 out of your profits and give you the rest. They're going to give you some money, and then you got to give them an extra $20 to keep streaming. That makes no sense. So the company is still grappling with over $1 billion in yearly interest obligations on loans from that Twitter acquisition from back in 2017. But despite these challenges, Musk's overwhelming wealth continues to grow. Elon's net worth was estimated at about $422 billion as of December 13th of 2024. And some analysts predict he could become the world's first trillionaire in 2025, partly due to potential benefits from the new U.S. administration. Rather than ending money, Musk appears to be expanding into financial services while facing some financial hurdles with his ex company. So, as we've explored the diminish of the US penny, do you guys think that the penny is really on its way out, or do you think that it will somehow manage to stick around? I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see more content about this, make sure that you check out some of the other videos that we have going forward. In addition, we're going to be tiptoeing through a lot of the other uh, challenges that we've got going on in the country right now. Also going to be doing a follow-up on some of the other things, like, for example, they just kind of passed over Elon doing that Hail Hitler salute. So since they passed over that, it looks like nothing's going to change outside of all the protests in the streets, which we're going to really be talking about how that's going to impact our society. We really have, in order for us to do good business, we have to recognize our strengths and our weaknesses. We have to recognize how much capital we have and where we want to put our money. After we figure out where we want to put our money, we have to figure out what societal actions and transactions are going to impact the investment that we just made. If you decide to buy into a company that's about to have construction block out the company's success, you're about to make a bad financial decision. If you were about to buy a house on the south side of California, and the south side of California is still on fire, your house might get burnt down before you finish closing on it. There's things that you just have to think about in your society before you start doing certain types of investments. Overall, there's a lot of things that we can gain from the changes that are being made, and there's a lot of things that we can come to understand and accept as we move forward with our decision-making process as a retaliatory from what they're doing at the White House, because all of this stuff does eventually trickle down to the bottom 99%, but it's not something that's going to impact us today. It might impact us later this year. It might impact us in Q2 of next year, but it is going to eventually impact us. Whether or not it impacts us for the better depends upon what we do and what efforts we put into this situation to positively turn the results into our favor, because a lot of things that happen could become financially beneficial. Just like with all the real estate burning to the ground, I showed you guys about certain real estate investment trusts that lost value in shares but maintained high revenue, which means a lot of people sold in order to rebuild their houses, but the real estate investment trust itself did not lose value in its investments. So they're still getting almost 18.6% return, but instead of you paying almost $9 a share, you're now paying almost $8 a share, which is better. You can buy in while it's lower, because once they get that fire under control, everybody who hasn't pulled out of the game is going to be reinvesting back into the game, which is going to increase the value of those shares. While other real estate investment trusts that are putting out almost 15 to 16% interest, those real estate investment trusts are at $20 a share, which is almost 3 times more than a real estate investment trust is putting out 18.6, almost 18.7% interest. So your money goes a lot further per share if you're buying a cheaper share option. So you got to really think about where you're putting your dollars at, so that you can think about where your money's going, so that you can think about how much profit you're going to be making over time. Likewise, if you can find a way to borrow some money from a bank that's putting out less than 18% interest, and then use that cash loan to put it into a stock option and pay the dividends back, the difference between the amount of money that you're getting back from your investment versus the amount of money that you are paying towards your loan, that difference is the cost of doing business. So if you can borrow $20,000, $30,000 from a credit union at less than 18%, and you're making 18 to 19% interest back, you're turning a 1 or 2% profit off of it, which some people are going to say that's not that much, but it's 1 or 2% of somebody else's money that's turning you a profit. Then you're still turning a profit, right? Which also means that by the time that deal has gone full circle, somebody else's money would have given you a substantial return where you could then take that substantial return after you've paid them off and utilize that to continue making money for you. So we got to think about all of the different ways that money can make money in our benefits. And since we understand that the U.S. government is backed by Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is one of the richest individuals in the United States, and he is moving in the direction of cryptocurrency, anybody who has extra money to put into cryptocurrency might want to start doing that before cryptocurrency starts being valued at $500,000. Just saying. Because back when it was worth $5,000, nobody wanted to put into it. Now it's worth almost $100,000. Those people who invested when it was $20,000 2 years ago, they would have tripled their money, quadrupled their money by now. If you get in it while you can, microtransactions, percentage investments, get in there while you can and just grow your money. Whether you're using trade bots, whether you're going to do a buy and hold, whatever you're going to do, get in there while you still can. Wait. It's going to be at its lowest point at the end of quarter 2, beginning of quarter 3, going to be its lowest point for the year. If you buy in March, which is not that long from now, it's like 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks from now, buy in March and then do your thing with flipping your Bitcoin transactions until October. You're going to see another change. You're going to see another 50% increase at least. And when you start pulling out at the end of quarter 3, you'll be able to see some differences. All I'm saying is there's a lot of ways that we can go so that we can make ourselves some money. And not all of it requires us to do backbreaking labor, stressful thinking. It does not require us to be present in a specific location at a specific time on a regular basis. So, we really got to look into a lot of other ways to do business. Me and myself, I'm going to be here on a podcast live every night of the week, 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock California time. And, we're going to be buying, selling, flipping, and talking about everything that influences our ability to buy, sell, and flip. And when we start traveling, we're going to be touching base in all of the other countries that you can invest in and make some money. And we're going to be able to show you guys that not only is it something to talk about, it's something to do. So this isn't just me just spending a little bit of time having a conversation with you guys. This is me showing you the beginning of what something good will look like going forward. And as time goes on, you guys will come to see, yeah, at some point I told you so it will happen, but it'll be too late because you can either get in as the wave starts to develop, or you can be behind the wave. If you're ahead of the wave, all of the profits are in your pockets. If you're behind the wave, you're catching whatever's left. And that's something that a lot of people have to think about. That's going to be all I have for you guys for tonight. I have to make sure that you guys got a lot of good details for the rest of the week. So I'm going to be spending some time after tonight's show working on some of the behind the scenes stuff, because there's a lot of information that has to be gathered. Every single podcast, I do research before the podcast to cover the topic to make sure that I'm knowledgeable about the information that I provide to you before I provide it to the fans. Mr. Freeze asked if I like monkey. I don't have any monkeys. I have dogs. So, monkeys are good until mating season, and then they start turning on folks, and that starts becoming a problem. Outside of dogs, I'm good with cats. A bird would be okay, but I don't like birds sitting on my back and potentially pooping on my clothes. So, not really doing too much with birds. Dogs, I can release the hounds like Montgomery Burns, so I'd prefer dogs. Cats don't really do that. I like bananas. Not a big fan of bananas. Banana pudding is effective, but not really a big fan of bananas outside of that. Some people like bananas for smoothies. I could see myself with banana ice cream, but that would be like banana pudding ice cream, so not really a banana person, more like a vanilla person. So, yeah. Beyond that, that's all I got for you guys for tonight's show. Tomorrow we're going to be doing something special, so I'm going to put everything together for you guys later tonight. You guys can hit that notification button in a couple of hours, and definitely stay tuned for tomorrow night's show. Mr. Freeze, since you want to come in and provide us with a little bit of entertainment, you can by all means dive into tomorrow night's show. Me, you, and Cody can all shoot the breeze on tomorrow night's topic. As I gather some information for tomorrow night's topic, we're going to be in line with business, finance, and investments. That a lot of very strange broken English there, so you have to learn how to speak English effectively before I can put your comments up onto the screen there. But beyond that, yeah. So as I usually say, as I time out of the show on a regular basis, ladies, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking you ladies to make it make sense. So please, ladies, make it make sense. And fellas, we really appreciate you guys coming to the show. We really appreciate you guys. Rep Void, Omni81, Liberty Twitcher, Max Reposer, Joe, his dad, Reese Martinez, Mr. Pibbs, and anybody that I've forgotten off the top of my head, AJ, Christina. I appreciate you guys following us from Twitch as well as YouTube. And for those of you that are looking at us from Twitter, we really thank you guys for coming to the show. 21,000 strong right now, so we really appreciate you guys coming to the show. And I just got to thank you guys once again for coming to This and That, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. If you guys want to talk about any specific topics, or you want me to do some digging on anything that is reasonably appropriate, throw it into the comment sections during the show or after the show. I'll take a look. We'll add it to the agenda if it's appropriate. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you very much.
Higher ground. Used to chase validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt upon the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher, constantly making my own climb. Standing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. I'm not landing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never yield.